Every day on ESPN FC, when you guys are sat with Dan or Adrian or whoever, sometimes you agree on topics, sometimes you disagree. This player here, Mesut Ozil, is the one player who no one can agree on. Stevie's a big fan of his, Paul Mariner not so. What does Shaka Hislop think of Mesut Ozil?
I'm on the fence in that Mesut Ozil is still a very talented player. I don't think there are many better passers, many who can see and read a game as well as Mesut Ozil. The trouble is, I don't think he offers enough defensively. So it's great to have Mesut Ozil in your side when you're playing against a team who are prepared to sit back and defend and soak pressure up and hope to hit you on the counter-attack. It's awful to have him in your side if the opposition is playing on the front foot, if they're going to have a goal, if they're going to have runners from midfield, because Mesut Ozil is going to track no one, and inevitably you find yourself outnumbered.
Now, he's kind of come out and said, look, everything's his fault. He's playing the role of victim pretty well, but look at these stats. Now, since he joined Arsenal way back when, those stats are pretty good. Are we in danger of forgetting what he used to do, and now it's more what he's not doing?
I think that's always a danger when you have players as talented as Mesut Ozil coming to the back end of their careers and maybe making, because of their seniority, making more money than maybe players who contribute a bit more do. And then again, because you're senior, because you're getting on in age, your performances start to wane. So as a result, the end part of your career maybe doesn't reflect the vast majority of your work. And it's only when you finally step down that people look back and say, well, this is what he did over 20 years. But while he's still in the game, people look at what's happened over the last year or two.
A lot of those stats were when he was better than what he is right now. The issue here for Mesut Ozil is a player who, he frustrates fans because we know what he's capable of. He's come out and he said, I'm staying here till 2021. Is the bigger picture here, I know, but who's going to pay him the 350?
Exactly.
That's the problem. Is the bigger picture here, not Mesut Ozil here. If someone says to you, Shaq, I'm going to give you 350 grand a week because of necessity, it was the whole Alexis Sanchez or Mesut Ozil.
Yeah.
You're not going to turn it around. Is the bigger issue here mismanagement at a higher level at that football club?
That's what Mesut Ozil is getting paid. It's not his fault.
No.
And as much as people want to blame him for it or feel that he isn't living up to that expectation, that's an Arsenal, an Arsene Wenger who offered that. It was ridiculous. Let's be honest. It was simply ridiculous. And now they've found themselves in a position where you have a very talented player who's back end of his career on so much money that anybody coming in now wants to be on Mesut Ozil money. And that's the catch-22 that they've now found themselves in. But that's not his fault.
Do you question his application on a match day?
No. In that, you know what you're getting from Mesut Ozil. He's not going to defend. And you could question that all you like, but he is not. And you just have that type of player. And if you want to have that type of player in your team and pay him the kind of money that he's on, you have to build around that. And you have to make allowances for that.
Now, the way they kind of play 4-2-3-1 at times, you get two fullbacks that get forward, your two holders. Could you play him as a 10 so he's got protection and he doesn't have to track back for the opposition fullbacks?
That's the only way you play Mesut Ozil, right in behind your striker or strikers, as it may be. But then the rest of the defense, back four, knows that both wing backs can't go at the same time. Your defensive midfielders can't go past Mesut Ozil because he's not going to get back in cover for you if you find yourself out of position. You have to have a team that knows who he is, knows what he's doing, more to the point, what he won't do, and take their positions accordingly.
Sometimes in football, the problem with some of the star players, at times, they can be consistently inconsistent.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.